Hello, good evening to everyone. So today I'll be solving problems regarding kinematics. Okay, so all the simple problems with the basic formulas of kinematics. So this video was supposed to be right after the video on free fall, solution to free fall. But since I got requests regarding solving problems in Kirchhoff's law. So inuna ko muna yung Kirchhoff's law. So to continue, I'll be solving problems in kinematics. Okay? So kinematics has four basic formulas. Okay? So first is d is equal to vt, or distance is equal to your velocity multiplied by time. And then your second formula is vf, or final velocity is equal to your initial velocity plus your acceleration multiplied by time. And third is your distance is equal to your initial velocity multiplied by time plus at squared, or acceleration multiplied by the square of time, okay? And the fourth is your final velocity squared is equal to your initial velocity squared plus 2 multiplied by acceleration and the distance, okay? So these are the four basic formulas, but you could manipulate them to form new ones, okay? Basing from the four formulas, of course. Let's say you're looking for velocity in the first equation, so velocity could be equal to your d multiplied by time, just by cross multiplying time. So anyway, that's why we have the unit of meters per second. This is distance over time. If you're looking for time, therefore it is your d divided by your velocity, or ds divided by velocity. So you could manipulate this four equations to form new equations. It depends on what value you're looking for, as long as it doesn't violate these four given equations. Okay, so as of now, I'll be solving basic problems. Okay, I'll be sharing them with you. Okay, so my next video will be solving more complex problems in kinematics. Okay, so I'll share a few videos taken from book in physics. Forget the author. Okay, so hopefully you can see it. Okay, that's there. Okay, so number one, a car accelerates from 15 meters per second to 45 meters per second in 5 seconds. Okay? Calculate the average acceleration of the car. So we're looking for the average acceleration of the car. Now, some problems need to be illustrated. Okay? But pwede namang hindi. You may solve a problem without illustrating it, as long as you could imagine the problem. Okay? So para alam mo na. Okay, given these equations and what's given in the problem. But some problems need to be illustrated. Okay, some problems are more complex, and you need to illustrate them for you to understand the problem better and to determine what solution or what formula and the process of solving it. Kailangan may illustration, but some don't need that. Okay, so let's see if this one needs it. So you're looking for an average acceleration. I'll be writing the given first. Okay, before I remove the share tray. Okay, so given is your initial velocity of 15 meters per second, then your final velocity of 45 meters per second, then your given time, a time of 5 seconds, and what's required is the acceleration, or average acceleration of the car. Okay, I'll remove the share tray for you to see the solution properly. Okay, so what's given is this. Okay, so your car now traveled, okay, is running. Okay, so it has an initial velocity of 15 meters per second, and after 5 seconds it became 45 meters per second ng bilis niya. So ano yung average acceleration niya within the span of 5 seconds? Okay, so I think this problem, hindi mo na kailangan siya yung drawing. Imagine mo lang, ito yung car mo, and then it traveled 5 seconds. So sa layong ito, this time is ang bilis niya na is 45 meters per second. So you don't need to illustrate. You can illustrate if you want to. But in this case, you may not. Okay, so but it depends. Okay, on what's required of the instructions, okay, of your professor, and so if you need to illustrate the problem. Okay, so the first thing to do is to determine which formula to use. Which formula would we use in this given problem? Okay, so first thing is, I think 1, 3, and 4 already canceled. Okay, so hindi na sila pwedeng select. So why is that? So formula 1, 2, and 4 all have distances. It's either distance unknown or distance is needed to solve the equation. Okay, so number 1 is d, vt. Number 3 is d, vot plus 1 half at squared. And of course, number 4 is final velocity squared minus initial velocity squared plus 2ad. So lahat sila may distances, which is not required in the problem and it's not given in the problem. So meron lang tayo is ito lang, ang meron tayo. Walang distance at walang hinahanap na distance. So we're going to select the second equation. So hindi pwede itong tatlo, 1, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'll make it clear. We selected the second equation since yun ang nagko-comply dito. Meron siya nung mga given niya is meron yung equation na yun and yung hinanap natin nandito din. While as 1, 3, and 4, walang may distance na given or hinahanap na wala naman yung problem natin. Okay, so we're going to use the second equation. Okay, so your solution now, okay, is equal to, let's write the formula first. It is the final velocity equal to your initial velocity plus acceleration multiplied by time. Okay, so we're looking for acceleration, so we need to isolate A. Okay, so transposing VO, okay, we have A is equal to VF minus VO, okay, divided by cross multiplying time all over T. So this will be our equation in looking for the average velocity. Okay, now substituting the values in the given problem, your A now is equal to your final velocity, which is 45 meters per second, 45 meters per second, minus your initial velocity of 15 meters per second. Hopefully you can still see this, okay, divided by your time of 5 seconds. Okay, now 45 minus 15 is 30. Okay, so 30 divided by 5, that is 6. Okay, so our acceleration now is equal to 6 meters per second, actually per second. So it's like that. Now, but our acceleration now is equal to meters per second squared. Okay, so remember the unit for acceleration is the time is squared. Okay, so it is meters per second is just velocity, while meters per second squared is acceleration. So the average acceleration of this car is 6 meters per second squared, meaning every second bumibilis siya ng 6 meters per second pa. Okay, so maybe I could erase this to show you. Okay, so the car is running at 15 meters per second. Okay, this is, and then at the first second, it became, since nadadag siya ng 6, so 6 ang tumatatak sa kanya, sa acceleration niya. It is 6 meters per second. Okay, so this becomes 21 meters per second. Okay, that's the first, and then another 6, 27 meters per second. Okay, then another 6, 33 meters per second. Okay, and then another 3, we have 39 meters per second, and then another 6, it is 45 meters per second. So, paliwanag ko lang siya, no? So, bumibilis siya ng 6 meters per second. Okay? So, this is the initial velocity of the car. And then, the first second, it became 21 meters per second. Dahil 6 meters ang binibilis niya per second. Okay? Okay, second is naging 27. Third is naging 33. At the fourth second, it is 39. And then in the fifth second, so pang 5 segundo, sabi niya, it's in 5 seconds siya, right? So ang bilis niya now, its final velocity niya is equal to 45 meters per second. So you did not show naman this, na parang pinakita ko lang ang ibig sabihin na. So it increases 5 meters per second ang kanyang velocity per second. So that's the acceleration. Okay, so hopefully maliwanag siya. Okay. So like I said, you did not illustrate this problem kasi gets mo naman na para may imagine mo na kaagad. Okay? So, but it's up to if you want to illustrate it para hindi masyado ka mahirapan pagka nagsosolve para mas maintindihan mo, depende sa'yo. Okay. So I'll share another problem. It's quite slow. Okay. Second problem. Okay. A truck accelerates, okay, from 25 kilometers per hour, okay, to 45 kilometers per hour in 40 seconds. Calculate the average acceleration of the vehicle in meter per second squared. So, meron tayong unit analysis, no? The given is in kilometer per hour, but we're looking for the acceleration in meter per second squared. So, wait, I'll write the given first. Make sure, hopefully it will fit. Okay, given is your initial velocity of the truck. Okay, 25 kilometers per hour. And then given is your final velocity of 45 again, 45, but this time it is in kilometer per hour. Okay, and given time of 40 seconds. And finally required is the acceleration. Okay, but it is in meters per second squared. Okay, so I think that's it. We remove the share tray. So ito yung given sa problem, no? The initial velocity of the truck is 25 again. Sorry, 25 kilometer per hour, and then it accelerates. Okay, after sorry, this is supposed to be 40. It is 40. Okay, so 40 seconds, naging 45 kilometers per hour na siya. Okay, but we're looking for the acceleration in meters per second, so we need to convert first. Okay, so it is the same formula. We're going to use this one since obviously wala siyang distance. Okay, so using the formula before, okay, I'll convert it to be sure. Okay, here na lang. So it is VF is equal to VO plus AT. Okay, so your A now is equal to VF minus VO all over T. Okay, so this is the formula. Okay, so kalagay ko lang dito. So your A now is equal to your final velocity, which is 45 kilometers per hour. Okay, and then minus your initial velocity of 25 kilometers per hour. Okay, divided by the time of 40 seconds. Okay, so tanggalin ko na muna to. Okay, so I just showed you how we derive the formula for acceleration. So this is equal to 20. Okay, so this is equal to 20. 20 kilometers per hour per second. Okay, this is 40 seconds. Okay, I'm writing 40 seconds. Okay, now we should convert kilometer per hour to meters per second. Okay, so let's convert that. So first, let's omit 40 seconds first. So it is 20 kilometers per hour, okay, multiplied by, so 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters, okay? Then we multiply again for R. We need to convert it to seconds. So you could convert 1 hour is equal to 3,600 seconds, okay? Or pwedeng minutes muna and then seconds. So we'll do the long method, okay? So it is 1 hour. 1 hour is 60 minutes. Okay, and then multiplied by, so 1 minute, okay, is equal to 60 seconds. Okay, so kilometers will cancel. Meter, retain sa'yo. And then your time now is hours, will cancel with hours. Then minutes, will cancel with minutes. Okay, ito right now is meter per second na lang. So it is 20 times 1,000, that is 20,000. Okay, divided by 6 times 60, that is 3,600. So it is equal to, this is 20,000, hopefully you can see it here, okay? 20,000 meters divided by 3,600 seconds. Okay, so let's divide. Use my calculator. There. Okay, so what is 20,000? 20,000 divided by 3,600. So it is 5.56. Okay, 5.56. So I'll be removing this conversion. And we're going to change the value of this one. We converted this value. It became 5.56 meters per second. And then divided by, so 20 kilometers per hour, we converted to meters per second. So its value is 5.56 meters per second. So divided by 40 seconds, okay, to get the average acceleration, 40 seconds. So again, it's meters per second squared. Okay, so that's your acceleration. Okay, so your A now is equal to This is 5.56, right of the second decimal place, okay, divided by 40. So it is 0.139, or two decimal places. It's equal to 0.14 meters per second. So that is your average acceleration. So I repeat the problem. So you're given your initial velocity and your final velocity, and you're given the time. You're looking for the acceleration, okay? So there's no problem. We're going to use the second equation again, okay? But in this case, it is looking for the acceleration in meters per second squared. Now you're given the unit of kilometer per hour. So you need to convert kilometer per hour into meters per second. So like we did, I think it's common, senior high and so on, common naman how to convert this distance and then time, okay? From hours to seconds and then kilometers to meters. So I think you know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters and 1 hour is equal to 3,600 seconds. If not, pwede maging 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes muna, and then 1 minute is equal to 6 seconds. So you could cancel the units. Then you could get the value of 5.56 meters per second. Okay, if you're quite confused, just rewind this video and look how I did the solution. Okay, so that's it. So the acceleration, average acceleration of the truck is equal to 0.14 meters per second. Okay, so that's the solution for problem number 2. Okay, we now go to problem number 3. Okay, wait, let's erase this one and I'll be sharing with you the third problem. Okay, so I was unable, okay, I need to erase, okay, the solutions. Medyo maligla yung space natin to solve for that problem. So I need to erase yung conversion kanina. Okay, so now let's continue with the third problem. I'll be solving, wait, there are only 5 problems here. Okay, so number 3. A bus accelerates at an initial speed of 12 meters per second, okay, at a constant rate of 1.2 meters per second squared. What is the final speed of the bus in 15 seconds? Okay, so medyo nagbago siya ng konti. Okay, so I'll be writing the given muna, okay, before I move the share tray. So given is initial speed or initial velocity is 12. Okay, so your VO is equal to 12 meters per second. Okay, constant rate. So constant rate is your average acceleration. Okay, so your A now is equal to 1.2. Okay, so if you're confused regarding kung ano ba yung average rate or constant rate, you could look at the unit. So the unit is meters per second squared. So that means that is your acceleration kasi yun is in second squared. Okay, it's not the final velocity. Okay, and what is the final speed, okay, of the bus after 15 seconds? So time is also given. It is 15 seconds. Okay, and required is your final velocity. Yan. Okay, so I'll remove the share tray. Okay, so again, I think all the problems selected are using the second formula. Okay, but at least, okay, next the next video will be using yung distance, but still you could determine which one to use. Okay, if you're given these values, VO, acceleration and time, you're looking for distance, you could use the third equation and so on. Okay, so in this case, given again is your initial velocity of 12 meters per second, given your average rate or your average acceleration of 1.2 meters per second squared. I repeat, if you're not familiar with that constant speed or average, okay, so look at the unit, okay, if it is in second squared, it's acceleration or deceleration, it depends, okay, deceleration is parang pag bumabagal siya, accelerates when it garners speed, pag bumibilis siya, that's acceleration, pag bumabagal siya, that's deceleration, okay, so it's in meter per second squared, then your time is 15 seconds, so let's use this formula, so para medyo mas madali ito na we need not transpose or cross multiply kasi nandun na agad yung VF. Okay, so your solution now is your VF or final velocity is equal to your VO multiplied by your acceleration multiplied by your time. So let's substitute the values. Your VO here is 12 meters per second, okay? And then plus your acceleration now is 1.2 meters per second squared, then multiplied by your time, which is 15 seconds. Okay, S na lang. Okay. So here, hindi natin pwedeng pag-add, syempre, yung 12 meters per second and 1.2 meters per second squared, so, since they don't have the same unit. So pag nag-multiply tayo nito, we could cancel yung square dito at yung seconds doon. Since numerator to, that's in the denominator. So pwede siyang cancel. So matitira sa'yo is unit mo is in meters per second na. So pwede na silang combine. Okay? So para walang cut, this is 12 meters per second. Okay? Plus, so what is 15? 15 multiplied by 1.2, that is equal to 18. Okay, so this is 18 meters per second. Okay, so meaning, pwede na silang i-add kasi pareho na silang meters per second. So kanina kasi, kung sakali man kanina, no, it is in meters per second, right? So you cannot combine these two. You see, adding them, can add them. Okay, so we have 30. Okay, we have 30 meters per, your final velocity is equal to 30 meters per second. So that is your final velocity. So that this is the truck. Let's say this is a truck. Okay, its initial velocity is 12 meters per second. So it is increasing. Okay, its average acceleration is 1.2 meters per second. So every second, bibili siya ng 1.2 meters per second. Now you could check that ulit. Okay, so and then after 15 seconds, what is the truck's final velocity? Okay, so it is now 30 from 12. After 15 seconds, if it accelerates at 1.2 meters per second squared, then after 15 seconds, its final velocity is equal to 30 meters per second. Okay, so hopefully this is clear. Okay, so next problem. I'll share it again. If I have time to edit a video tutorial, maybe I would write the problem below while I'm solving, so para makita nyo sa baba. The only problem is due to the limited space, kung may problem na solve sa baba, you might not see the whole solution. Okay, so I'm just using the shared tray. Okay, so next, number 4. Okay, so a car traveling at the speed of 30 meters per second encounters an emergency and comes to a complete stop. Okay, how much time will it take for the car to stop if its rate of deceleration is negative 4 meters per second squared? Okay, so I'll be writing the given. Okay, given speed of 30. Okay, your VO is 30 meters per second. Then your VF is 0. Zero. Okay. So it's 0 since sabi niya, it encounters an emergency and comes to a complete stop. So meaning habang umaandar siya, ang bilis niya is 30 meters per second. But due to an emergency, bigla siyang tumigil, a complete stop. So when the car stops, anong bilis niya? So it is 0 meters per second. Kasi tumigil siya. So ang velocity niya is 0. So, wala naman na siya, tumigil na siya. Kaya your final velocity, nung initial niya is umaandar siya, 30, and then biglang tumigil diretso, so that is 0 ang yung final velocity. Okay? So how much time will it take? So given din ang acceleration natin. Acceleration natin is negative 4 meters per second. Am I right? Yes, that's negative 4 meters per second. So we're looking for the time. So this is your required time. Okay, so tanggalin ko muna yung share tray. Okay. Now, given yung deceleration niya, but when we say deceleration, it's automatic kasi it's negative. Okay. Now, remember, it should be positive no? But siya negative because acceleration is a vector quantity. So remember, pag vector siya, meron siyang direction and so magnitude direction. Now, pag acceleration, you know, positive siya kasi bumibilis siya. Okay, so deceleration is negative kasi bumabagal. So remember, yung sign natin, it signifies magnitude and directions vectors. Okay, kaya negative deceleration kasi meaning bumabagal siya. Okay, so let's solve for the time. Again, I think all problems are in here. Maybe in my next video, I'll be showing you problems using this. I selected the problems in random. Okay, so ibig sabihin paano napunta na dito pala. Okay, so let's solve for t again. Same formula. So this is VF. Okay, solution. Okay, VF is equal to VO plus AT. Okay, so we're looking for time. Okay, so ito naman ang ma-isolate. Okay, so your time now is equal to your final velocity, minus your initial velocity divided by your acceleration. Okay, placing the data and the given. So your final velocity here is 0. Okay, minus initial velocity is 30 meters per second. Okay, then divided by your acceleration or deceleration in this case is negative 4 meters per second. So 0 minus negative 30, that is negative. Kita ba ba doon? Kita ba? So that is negative 30 meters per second divided by 4 meters per second, which is negative. So magkakancel yung negative side. So our velocity is positive. Or sorry, our time is positive. Okay, so time. Okay, so that is 30 divided by 4. Okay, so to be sure, what is 30 divided by 4? It is 7.5. Okay, so 7.5 seconds. So that is the time. So yun. So ang bilis niya, okay, is 30 meters per second. So meaning when he encountered emergency, so nag-brake na siya, hindi pa kagad tumigil. Okay, so parang hindi pa agad tumigil. Hindi pa umabot nung 0 kagad. So parang kung mabilis yung takbo mo, and then nag-step ka ng brake mo, so parang nag-skid pa siya, parang gano'n. In 4 seconds pa yung pagbagal niya. Okay, so umabot pa siya ng 7.5 seconds. Okay, hanggang abutin niya yung final velocity na 0, yung talagang stop na siya. Okay, you can imagine that, no? So pag preno niya, hindi pa kagad tumigil. It still took him at 7.5 seconds, okay, para yung acceleration niya na gano'n na 4 meters per second ang pagbagal niya. Okay, so that is the time. Okay, and I think it's my fourth problem. Okay, and finally, for the last problem. Yeah, repeat next meeting, I'll be looking for problems. Okay, using the third and the fourth equation. Okay, so wait, this is the wrong share tray. Okay. Okay, there. Okay, so problem number 5, my last problem for this session. Okay. When will two trains meet if they're traveling in opposite directions at 60 miles per hour and 90 miles per hour respectively? If A, they're currently 60 miles apart, and B, if they're traveling in the same direction. Okay, so when will they meet? So dalawa. So ang sabi lang niya, we have two trains. Okay, train A, I'll be writing the given. This is a different format. Okay, train A has a velocity of 60 miles per hour, while train B has a velocity of 90 miles per hour. So their distance currently is 600 miles. Okay, 600 miles. Okay, opposite. First is opposite direction. The next is on the same direction. Okay, so the question is, when will they meet? Okay, so we're looking for the time. So this is given. This is required. Okay. Okay, so the problem states that there are two trains. Okay, one has a speed of 60 miles per hour and the other has a speed of 90 miles per hour. Okay, now ang distance daw nila is 600 miles. Okay, so the question is, kailan sila magkikita? Okay, so pagtakbo sila, pareho opposite direction sila. Okay? Now, yung isang tanong is pag pareho sila ng direction. Okay? So, I'll be solving yung A muna. Okay? Maybe I'll leave B to you, okay, to try to solve it. I try to solve yung B kung sakaling they are running the same direction. Okay? Now, there are two ways to draw the problem. I think we should draw this problem. Kaya yan, like I said, there are problems na kailangan mong illustrate. Okay? Kasi may problems na pwede mo na mag-imagine kung may answer niya. But this parang ito kailangan i-drawing for us to solve it better. Okay? To understand the problem. Okay, so let's say ito yung railway. Okay, mga railway yan. Okay, so we have train A here. A, okay, that's some wheels. And we have train B. Okay, so pag sabi ko opposite direction, okay, there are two ways. No? Pwedeng ito papunta doon, ito papunta dito. That's opposite. But kung ganyan ang direction na napili mo, they will never meet kasi magkaiba sa direction. Okay? So ibig sabihin ng same direction is, let's say ang A mo papunta dito, ang B mo papunta doon. Okay? So ang layo ng nilang dalawa, the distance between them is 600 miles. Ang layo sa kanila. Okay, so kaya daw sila magkikita. Wait, I'll change the illustration. Parang, ang tanong, pag mangyayari dito kasi sa aking illustration is parang when will they collide or when will they crash? Parang ganun. Kasi pag nagtama yun, so sasabugin. Okay? So parang tragic ang aking illustration. So, okay, let's change the drawing. Okay? Gawin natin ano? Gawin natin tab view. Kunwari tab view. Okay, so ito yung unang train mo. Railway, ito yung pangalawang train. So, hindi maganda yung kanina, parang pag bungguan ang mangyayari. Okay? So, ito tayo. So, this is your train A. Okay, this is your train A. This is A. And nandito yung B mo naman, train B. Yun. Okay, this is your B. Yan, okay. Now, train A has a speed of 60 miles per hour, while train B has a velocity of 90 miles per hour. So, yun ang given sa problem. Ang layo ng dalawa, ang distance nilang dalawa, yan, distance from A and B is 600 miles. Yan ang layo nila. Okay? So, pag ito umandar papunta doon, at ito umandar papunta dito, yan, kailan daw sila mag-meet? Yan, para mag-meet sila banda dito. Yan. So, gaano katagal bago sila mag-meet? Okay. Now, looking at the problem, ulitin ko muna ha. Ulitin ko to be sure illustration. So, like I said, there are problems that need to be illustrated. So, train A mo is going in this direction, while train B is going in this direction. So, currently, they are 600 miles apart. Okay, train A has a distance or has a velocity of 60 miles per hour, while your B has a velocity of 90 miles per hour. So, mas mabilis to. Okay? So, ulit, ang layo nila is 600 miles. Kailan daw sila mag-meet? So, yan, parang nandito na yung train mo, nandito na yung train mo. Yan. Mas maganda yan. Kasi yung kanina parang, when will they crash? Ang sinasagot ko kanina kasi may banggaan sa drawing. Okay, so in this case, looking at the formulas given, we cannot use this 3. Okay, since wala namang given, constant ang velocity ng dalawa, so pag constant, wala acceleration. Okay, so pag then wala ring initial velocity, wala ring final velocity. Okay, so hindi pwede itong mga to. So you're given velocity of 1, velocity of 2, and then yung distance nila, and then ano yung time na we meet sila. So we're going to use yung first equation. Okay, gagamitin natin. Since it's my last problem, ito gagamitin natin. Pwede ko na siguro burin to, okay? Para magkasya yung solution. Okay. Yan. Okay. So, gamitin natin to. Now, you're given 2 values of velocity and only 1 distance. And of course, isa lang yung time mo na gagamitin, na pwede mong gamitin. Okay? So, what we're going to do is meron tayong D1 and D2. Okay? So, your D1 now is equal to your velocity 1 multiplied by time. Remember, pareho yung time. Pareho yung time nila, yung magtatama sila. Kailan yung magtatama sila. Okay? And then, meron kang D2, second distance, yung matatravel ng second train mo. This is your second velocity multiplied by your time. Okay, now we're looking for time. Okay, so we could equate the two using yung time. Okay, so let's see. Ang distance niya is 600 meters. Okay, dito tayo. So this is 600 equate? Same time. It's the same time ang magagamit. Okay. So, D1 mo now, D1 muna tayo distance, same time siya. So, D1 now is 60. This is miles per hour. Per hour, no? Per hour. And then yung time mo, syempre, is in hours. So, makakancel din yung hours mo. So, it will become 60 na lang. 60. Distance siya is in miles. Okay. Multiplied by time. So, I repeat. Yung velocity mo rito is 60. Yan, okay. Miles per hour. So, malamang your time is in hours. Okay, so makakancel sila. So, our distance is now is in miles na lang. Unit natin dito. It's in miles. Okay. I'll be writing later para hindi nakalito yung 60m tapos t. Okay. And then dito naman sa distance mo dito, this is d2. And then your velocity here is 90. Okay. Miles multiplied by time. Yun. Okay, so hopefully clear ito. Okay, clear siya. So now we could equate them. Okay, we could equate the two equations. Okay, so distance 1 at saka distance. So bakit ganun? Ba't pwede silang pag-equate? Kasi yung distance 1 mo, ito matatravel nito hanggang dyan siya kunwari. That is your distance 1. Now this one is hanggang dito siya. This is your distance 2. Now, yung distance 1 na yan, gaano man kalayo yan, at gaano man kalayo yung distance 2 na yan, pag pinag-add mo yung dalawang yan, equal yan sa 600 miles. Okay, so gaano man kalayo matravel niyan kasi mag-meet sila eh. Mag-meet. Okay, so pag nag-meet sila, ang matravel ng dalawang ito, gaano man kalayo travel, gaano kalayo na travel nito, kung mas mahaba siya, gano'n. Is equal to 600 miles pa rin yan. Sigurado. Okay, kasi yun, mag-meet sila doon eh, 600 miles. Okay, so we could equate this D1 plus D2 is equal to your total distance. Okay, so your distance now, total distance, is equal to D1 plus D2. Yun. Okay, now let's equate. So your D now is equal to, I will change na the values, okay? So ang D mo dito is yung layo nila, which is 600. 600 miles is equal to this one, this is 60 T. Nabasa ba? Yes. Plus 90 T. Okay, so yan na. From here, D is equal to D1 plus D2. So your D, yung distance silang dalawa, given is 600. Okay, ayun, 600. Now, your D1 now, we could change that to the equation dito na nakuha natin. It is 60T. And then, yung D2 mo naman, it is 90T. Okay, so now, we could add this two. This is 600 is equal to 150T. Yan. So, T now, okay, we cross multiply, is 600 divided by 150. Okay, so 60 divided by 15, that is 4. So T now is equal to, you see, dito lang sa baba. Okay, so T now is equal to 4 hours. Okay, so that's the time when the two trains will meet. Okay, now, check natin, no? Tingnan natin kung tama. Okay, if your train 1 mo is traveling at 60 miles per hour. Ang ibig sabihin, every hour, it can travel a distance of 60 miles every hour. Okay, so ibig sabihin, in 4 hours, gaano kalayo natatravel nito? So that is 60 miles times 4. So it is 240 miles. Okay, so matatravel nito in 4 hours is 240 miles. Now your B naman. Your B travels at a speed of 90 miles per hour. Okay, so every hour it can travel a distance of 90 miles. Okay, so 4 hours, ibig sabihin, sa 4 na oras, 90 miles per hour siya. So 4 hours times 90, that is equal to 360 miles. Yon. So meaning, so yung drawing mamaya, no? Okay, so na-travel nito is 240, travel naman niya is 360. So pag pinag-add mo yan, that should be equal to 600 miles. Okay, boring ko sandali. Okay, para maliwanag lang. Kaya this type of problem needs illustration. Okay, so ito sila. Ito yung first train mo. Okay, ito yung second train mo. This is 60 miles per hour. And this is 90 miles per hour. Okay, so in 4 hours, ang layo nilang dalawa, yan, ang layo ng dalawang yan ay 600 miles. Yun. So ito, in 4 hours, ang na-travel niya is 60 times 4 kasi 60 miles per hour, it is 240 miles. Okay, yung 90 mo naman, in 4 hours, 90 times 4, ang na-travel naman niya ay 360 miles. So I think that's clear. 4 times 60 is 24 and 4 times 90 is 360. So when we add that, dito sila makikita, it is equal to 600 miles. Okay, so that's the time. So the time when they meet is after 4 hours. So dalawang train na magkasalubong, hindi naman babangga, ano? At the same, ano lang, sa opposite direction lang sila. So one runs at 60 miles per hour, the other runs at 90 miles per hour. Kailan sila mag-meet? Okay, anong time? So the time is 4 hours. Yun ang time na limit sila. Ngayon, kung nagbigay siya ng time at 1 o'clock p.m., ito yung layo nila, 600 ang layo nila. So ibig sabihin, at 4 hours, ibig at 5 o'clock doon sila mag-meet. Kaya diba, sabi niya at 1 p.m., ang layo ng dalawa ay 600 miles and then binigay yung velocity. So, kailan, anong time sila meet? So, that is 4 hours na mo. So, ang time na meet sila is 1 p.m. plus 4, that is 5 p.m. Okay, so, now there's another problem. I'll let you solve it. Okay, then I'll be solving it in another video. Okay, so just try it. Okay, so, ang tanong naman, doon sa second problem, okay, same problem but different lang ang approach niya. Okay? So, sabi naman doon, if you have, again, two trains, okay, if they start, they're going at the same direction, so parehong papunta doon. So, yung isa nandito. Yan, parang papunta doon. Okay, so ang distance pa rin nilang dalawa ay 600 miles ang layo nilang dalawa. But ito, syempre mauna to, it's running at 60 miles per hour. Ito naman is running at 90 miles per hour. So, kailan sila magkikita? Ayan, naman dyan. Kailan sila magkikita? Siyempre, mabagal ito, mahabol nito. So, pareho sila ng direction. So, ang layo nila ngayon ay 600 miles ang layo nila. Given pa rin yung problem, no? Same yung given. Kaya lang dito, pareho sila ng direction. Siyempre, mauna dapat yung 60. If 90 will be running first before 60, kung 90 to 60 yun, hindi mag-meet yan kasi mas mabilis yung isa. So, dapat nauna, within that distance, nauna yung 60 miles. Okay, and then yung 90 miles yung humahabol. Okay, so ano ang answer nito? Okay, wait. Okay, so the answer is 20 hours. 20 hours. Okay, bago umabot yung train B sa train A na makikita na sila doon. Okay, so yan ang tanong. Okay, so check natin kung tama and then try to find or try to solve it. Anong solution ba? Paano ba siya? So, check lang natin, no? So, at 20 hours, yung train B mo will travel 90 times 20 hours. Times 20 is, ang nabiyahe niya na ay 1,800 miles. That's the distance na travel niya, 20 hours. Ito naman, yung 60 mo naman, so we have 60 times 20. So, matravel niya is 1,200 miles. Okay, yan. So, kaso, nauna na ito ng 600 miles. Nauna na siya, lamang na siya. So, meron na siya naman ng 600. When it travel a distance of 1,200 miles, ito naman nakatravel ito ng 1,800. So, nagtugma na sila. Kasi from this point, ang nabiyahe nito is 12 plus 600. That is equal to 1,800 miles. Yan. So, nag-meet na sila if they're running at the same direction. And of course, if train A is leading, siya dapat ang nauna. Kasi kung nauna yung B, hindi na makakahabol yung A mo. Okay, so the answer is 20 hours. It's quite simple din. Okay, pwede mo i-clarify. Ganun din yung parang solusyon na kayo. Mahaba lang yung paliwanag ko kayo na to be sure na naintindihan. But actually, isa lang naman din yung formula na gagamitin. Okay, so try to see if you could solve for this. The answer is 20 hours. Okay, so I think I used only two solutions. I had two formulas in kinematics, the first and the second. So maybe I'll follow this up with other problems, siguro using a third and yung fourth formula. Okay, so I think this video is getting too long. That's all for now, and hopefully you understood how to solve problems using simple, the four basic formulas in kinematics. Okay, so I think that's all, and have a good day to everyone.